All right, so today we're switching things up a bit for our deep dive.
Oh,
Yeah, instead of like an article or a research study, we're going to be analyzing a conversation,
okay.
a transcript actually from a live audio and video stream
Interesting.
hosted by Hideki and Mayumi.
I know them. They're the duo behind Saba Radio.
That's right.
I've listened to their show a few times, actually.
Yeah, they're great.
It's really interesting what you can like pick up from just casual conversations like this one.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and these two, they touched on everything from like multi-platform content creation to AI,
I know, right?
and even like a surprising amount of wisdom on productivity and creativity.
That's actually what caught my eye the most.
Oh, yeah.
How they kept coming back to the connection between physical activity and mental clarity.
Hmm.
Something I've been thinking about a lot lately myself.
Well, you're in good company then.
Oh, yeah.
Because Hideki actually brought up Steve Jobs,
Oh,
who
wow.
was famous for his walking meetings.
I've heard about that. Yeah.
The idea being that like movement can actually stimulate creative thinking and help with problem solving.
Interesting.
And there's actually a growing body of research to support that.
Really?
Yeah, studies have shown that even light physical activity can improve blood flow to the brain,
Oh, wow.
which helps boost cognitive function and even memory.
That makes so much sense.
Right, it's like literally getting your brain juices flowing.
Exactly.
And Mayumi was all about this idea.
Was she?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She was talking about the importance of good blood flow for your brain to work its best.
Uh-huh.
And she even mentioned that she walks to a bakery near her home
Oh, nice.
as a way to incorporate more movement into her day.
I love that she's so deliberate about it.
Yeah.
It's not just like random exercise,
Yeah.
you know? It's more strategic,
Yeah,
using movement to enhance her mental state.
I like that.
Hmm.
And it's not just about individual benefits either.
Oh.
They were also experimenting with broadcasting their show simultaneously on YouTube and Stylif.
Oh, on 2 platforms.
Yeah. What's Stylif?
It's a platform focused on audio-only content.
Ah,
It allows for deeper listener engagement
how so?
through features like live chat and Q&A.
Makes sense.
So they were essentially doing a walking meeting of their own,
Interesting.
navigating the challenges and opportunities of a multi-platform world.
I see what you mean. It's like a metaphor for modern life,
Totally.
juggling different platforms and trying to find the best way to connect with an audience.
Exactly.
It sounds like they were a little unsure at first, though,
About
like managing the technical aspects and
yeah,
stuff.
it could be tricky.
But they seem determined to experiment and see what works best.
Definitely. And speaking of experimenting,
Yeah.
they also had a fascinating conversation about the role of artificial intelligence.
AI.
Mhm. Interesting.
Yeah. Mayumi seemed particularly excited about the potential of AI assistance.
Oh, really?
Yeah, to help us manage our schedules and anticipate our needs,
Okay.
and even connect us with people who share our interests. Yeah, she even envisioned AI-powered scheduling tools
What will those do?
that could prioritize meetings based on the potential for a positive energy exchange.
You mean like matching people based on their vibes?
Exactly.
Oh.
Like whether they'd be likely to inspire and motivate each other.
That's a cool concept.
Right? Especially given her emphasis on the importance of surrounding yourself with positive influences.
For sure. But it makes you wonder about the downsides to like relying too heavily on AI,
Yeah, for sure.
especially when it comes to something as nuanced as human connection.
Absolutely. And it's interesting because despite all this talk about AI and digital platforms,
Yeah.
Mayumi was also a strong advocate for the value of face-to-face interactions.
In person.
Yeah. Interesting.
She talked about how she could tell a lot about a person's well-being just by listening to their voice,
Really?
like picking up on subtle cues like congestion or low energy.
Wow, that's impressive. It's like she's saying that technology can't replace those instinctive ways of connecting with people. Right. And she specifically mentioned the importance of in-person meetings for building trust and familiarity with an audience,
Makes sense.
especially when you're trying to create a genuine connection.
So it's not just about being efficient.
No.
It's about finding that balance
Exactly.
between leveraging technology and maintaining that human element.
I think you hit the nail on the head there.
And this tension between the digital world and the desire for real-world experiences was a recurring theme throughout their conversation.
It was.
Mayumi even admitted that she sometimes feels obligated to stay in the digital realm, even when she'd rather be out experiencing life.
I think a lot of us can relate to that feeling.
Oh, absolutely.
We're constantly bombarded with information and expected to be available online,
It's true.
which makes it hard to disconnect and recharge.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
And it sounds like Hideki and Mayumi are grappling with that very dilemma,
they are.
trying to find a way to balance their digital commitments with their desire for real-world experiences.
It's a tough one.
And it sounds like they were pretty open about the challenges they're facing,
Oh, for sure.
which I think makes their insights even more valuable
How so?
for those of us who are trying to navigate this new landscape
Okay.
ourselves.
I agree with you there.
Yeah.
It's refreshing to hear them talk so candidly about those internal struggles.
Really?
It's a reminder that even those who seem to have mastered the art of online engagement, they still face the same challenges as the rest of us.
Exactly. It's a universal struggle in today's world,
It is.
finding that equilibrium.
You got it. Yeah, it's like almost ironic
That is.
that they're using technology to connect with people, but it's also kind of preventing them from like fully experiencing something they value in the offline world.
That's true.
Yeah.
And they even talked about adjusting their show's schedule.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, or like incorporating YouTube more regularly
Interesting.
to create more space for those real-world experiences.
Shows their commitment to adapting
Right.
and finding a sustainable model for their creative work.
Totally.
Yeah.
That willingness to experiment is inspiring.
Yeah.
It reminds us that we don't have to be bound by,
Sorry.
by rigid structures, and that it's okay to try new things.
Especially to find what works best for us.
For sure.
Yeah.
And they even invited their viewers to share their thoughts and preferences.
That's smart.
Yeah.
It fosters a sense of community and shared ownership,
Right.
which is so important when you're navigating uncharted territory.
Like the digital landscape.
Exactly. It's fascinating how this conversation started with walking meetings.
I know.
And somehow led us to AI.
Yeah.
And now to this balance between our digital and physical lives.
It's all interconnected.
It is. And as we go deeper into their conversation,
Yeah.
we just uncover more and more of these fascinating connections
Between.
like seemingly totally different ideas.
I was intrigued by how they kept coming back to the importance of energy.
Yes. Mayumi especially, she
Yeah.
seemed drawn to the concept of energy as like a guiding principle. She even mentioned this AI-powered scheduling tool
Oh, yeah?
that would prioritize meetings based on the potential for positive energy exchange.
Interesting. So technology could help us not only manage our time,
Right.
but also seek out interactions that uplift and inspire us.
Exactly. It's almost like she's suggesting we should be more mindful of the energetic impact of our interactions.
I see. It's not just about who we spend time with,
Right.
but also about the quality of those interactions
Yeah.
and how they make us feel.
It ties in really well with their earlier discussion about surrounding yourself with positive influences.
Yeah, it does.
They're encouraging us to be more conscious of the energy we bring
Too.
to our interactions and to seek out experiences that align with our values.
I like that. It's a powerful message,
Is.
especially in a world that can often feel chaotic and overwhelming.
Yeah, and by being more intentional about our energy, we can not only enhance our own well-being,
Yeah.
but also contribute to a more positive and fulfilling collective experience.
And it makes you wonder if this focus on energy
Yeah,
could be a key to unlocking greater productivity and creativity.
it's a good thought, because if we prioritize activities and interactions that generate positive energy,
Right.
we might find ourselves more engaged and inspired.
And ultimately more productive.
Exactly,
Yeah.
like we're tapping into some kind of hidden source of motivation.
And it's not just a theoretical concept for them.
Oh, definitely not.
Their passion for what they do and their connection with their audience is so clear.
It really is.
It creates this contagious energy
Yeah.
that draws people in.
It's like they're living proof
Of
that positive energy is a driving force for
Yeah.
creativity and connection.
It's inspiring to see them putting these principles into practice.
It is.
It gives me hope that we can all find ways to incorporate this focus on energy into our own lives,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's in our work, our relationships, or even our creative pursuits.
Yeah, it really is like they're shining a light on a different way of thinking about work and life.
What?
One that prioritizes well-being and positive energy
As much as
efficiency and output.
it's a refreshing perspective.
Isn't it? Makes you challenge your own assumptions
About.
what it really means to be productive and successful.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into Hideki and Mayumi's conversation,
Mm-hmm.
what stands out to you as the most significant takeaway?
I think for me, it's the reminder that even in this world where technology is everywhere,
Yeah.
human connection is still so important.
I agree.
Whether it's, that deep understanding we get from face to face,
Right.
or just consciously surrounding ourselves with positive energy,
Yeah.
it's clear our well-being is tied to how we connect.
I completely agree. And what I found really insightful was their willingness to grapple with this tension
Between.
between the digital world and the pull of real world experiences.
Yeah, they didn't shy away from acknowledging the challenges of staying grounded.
In a world where you're always connected.
Yeah, right. And I think their honesty about their own struggles is really what makes their insights so valuable
To us.
to everyone. They're not saying they have all the answers,
Right.
but they're inviting us along on this journey to experiment with different approaches and see what works for us.
So it's not about rejecting technology.
No.
It's more about being mindful.
Exactly.
Using it as a tool to enhance our lives, not dictate them.
I think that's exactly right. And their conversation gives us a way to do that.
Roadmap.
Yeah, a framework for thinking about productivity, creativity, and well-being in a holistic way.
And a big part of that seems to be about this conscious relationship with energy.
Definitely. Whether it's being aware of the energy we bring to our interactions,
Right.
or seeking out interactions that leave us feeling energized.
It's about making these small changes that can make a real difference.
Yeah, in how you feel, how you work, how you connect.
And so as we conclude our deep dive here,
Mm-hmm.
what are your final thoughts for our listeners?
Well, I encourage everyone to think about how they can bring some of these ideas into their own lives.
Like what?
Like maybe trying a working meeting, making time to connect in person,
Yeah.
or just becoming more aware of the energy you're putting out there.
It all comes down to exploring those things that spark your curiosity
Right.
and fuel your passion.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep connecting, and keep diving deep.